Admiral Zax Thor of the Galactic Confederation stood on the bridge of his flagship, the Celestial Hammer, his tentacles twitching with frustration. The holographic display before him showed a sea of red indicators disabled or destroyed Confederation ships. His fleet, once the pride of 5 galaxies, lay in ruins around him. "Status report," he bellowed, his translator struggling to convey the depth of his anger. Commander Krell, his first officer, slithered forward on his 6 legs. "Admiral, we've lost 80% of our ships. The X-Argon assault was unprecedented. Their new vessels seem impervious to our weapons." Zax Thor's compound eyes narrowed. "Impossible. We have the most advanced ships in the known universe. How could the X-Argon suddenly?" He was cut off by a violent shudder that rocked the entire ship. Alarms blared as the Celestial Hammer's shields finally gave way. "We have no choice," Admiral Krell said, his exoskeleton paling. "We must retreat and seek help." Zax Thor's tentacles curled in disgust. "Help? From whom? We are the help. We're the Galactic Confederation." Krell hesitated before responding. "There are rumors, sir, of a species on the fringes of the galaxy. They're said to build ships unlike anything we've ever seen." "Preposterous," Zax Thor scoffed. "We've subjugated or assimilated every spacefaring race in 5 galaxies. Who could possibly?" Another explosion rocked the ship, and the lights flickered ominously. Sir Krell insisted they're called humans. Jack Harrison wiped the sweat from his brow as he made the final adjustments to the quantum stabilizer. The cavernous shipyard around him hummed with activity, filled with the sounds of welding, the hiss of plasma cutters, and the low rumble of anti-gravity generators. "Jack," a voice called out. "How's it coming along?" Jack looked up to see his best friend and fellow engineer Marcus Chen approaching. Marcus was carrying 2 steaming cups of coffee, a grin on his face. "Almost there," Jack replied, accepting one of the cups gratefully. "Just fine-tuning the stabilizer. This baby's going to revolutionize interstellar travel, mark my words." Marcus nodded, his eyes gleaming with excitement. "I still can't believe we managed to crack the subspace resonance problem. The boys at Quantum Dynamics said it couldn't be done." Jack chuckled. "Well, they didn't have us, did they? Speaking of which, how's the new hull coming along?" "Finished the final layer this morning," Marcus said proudly. "The nano-adaptive alloy is performing even better than we hoped. It's 10 times stronger than anything else out there, and it can self-repair in seconds." Their conversation was interrupted by the shipyard's intercom system. "Attention all personnel. Admiral Stanton requests the presence of Jack Harrison and Marcus Chen in the command center immediately." The 2 friends exchanged puzzled glances. "What do you think that's about?" Marcus asked. Jack shrugged. "Only one way to find out." Admiral David Stanton paced the length of the command center, his weathered face creased with concern. When Jack and Marcus entered, he motioned for them to approach the central holographic display. "Gentlemen," he began, his voice grave, "we've received a distress call from the Galactic Confederation." Jack's eyebrows shot up. "The Confederation? I thought they considered us primitive backwater dwellers." "They did," Stanton nodded. "Until now. It seems they've encountered an enemy they can't defeat. An enemy with technology that surpasses even theirs." Marcus frowned. "But sir, how is that possible? The Confederation has been the dominant force in the galaxy for millennia." Stanton's lips quirked in a half-smile. "Not anymore. And that's where you 2 come in. Your work on Project Prometheus. It's time to put it to the test." Jack and Marcus exchanged excited glances. Project Prometheus was their magnum opus, a revolutionary starship design that incorporated all of their groundbreaking innovations. "Sir," Jack said, "Prometheus is still in its final stages. We haven't even done a full systems test yet." "You have 48 hours to get it ready," Stanton replied. "The fate of the galaxy may well depend on it." The next 2 days were a blur of activity. Jack and Marcus worked around the clock, pushing themselves and their teams to the limit. Sleep was a luxury they couldn't afford, sustained only by coffee and the thrill of the challenge before them. As the deadline approached, they stood before the fruit of their labors. The UNSS Prometheus gleamed in the vast shipyard, its sleek lines and otherworldly design unlike anything ever seen before. "She's beautiful," Marcus whispered, awe in his voice. Jack nodded, a lump in his throat. "That she is. But will she be enough?" Before Marcus could respond, Admiral Stanton approached, accompanied by a strange alien figure. The creature was tall and spindly, with iridescent skin and multiple limbs that seemed to move independently. "Gentlemen," Stanton said, "allow me to introduce Ambassador Zix of the Galactic Confederation. Ambassador, these are the designers of our most advanced Starship, Jack Harrison and Marcus Chen." The alien's translator crackled to life. "Greetings, humans. I must admit, when we first learned of your species, we did not think much of you. But now you may be our only hope." Jack stepped forward, extending his hand in greeting. "It's an honor, Ambassador. We'll do everything in our power to help." The alien's limbs twitched in what might have been surprise or amusement. After a moment's hesitation, it reached out and grasped Jack's hand with 3 of its appendages. "Your ship," Zix said, turning to gaze at the Prometheus. "It is. Unlike anything I have ever seen. How is this possible?" Marcus grinned. "Well, Ambassador, that's a long story. But the short version is this: we humans have always been dreamers and innovators. When we looked to the stars, we didn't just see distant lights, we saw a challenge. And we rose to meet it." Jack nodded in agreement. "We've packed this ship with technology that pushes the boundaries of what's possible. Quantum stabilizers that allow, for instance, faster-than-light travel. Nano-adaptive hull plating that can withstand the heat of a supernova. An AI-driven power core that harnesses the energy of artificial micro-singularities." Ambassador Zix's compound eyes widened. Truly remarkable. But will it be enough to face the S-Argon threat? Admiral Stanton stepped in. "There's only one way to find out. Jack, Marcus, are you ready to take her out?" The 2 friends shared a determined look. "Yes, sir," they replied in unison. The journey to the battlefield was mercifully short, thanks to the Prometheus's revolutionary drive system. As they dropped out of quantum space, the scene that greeted them was one of utter devastation. The remnants of the once mighty Confederation fleet drifted lifelessly, while the menacing ships of the S-Argon Armada loomed in the distance. Their vessels were dark and angular, bristling with weapons that pulsed with an eerie, otherworldly energy. "By the stars," Ambassador Zix breathed, his translator barely able to convey his horror. "We are too late." Jack gripped the controls tightly. "No, we're not. Marcus, power up all systems. Let's show these S-Argon what humanity is capable of." As the Prometheus surged forward, the S-Argon ships turned to face this new threat. Energy beams lanced out, powerful enough to vaporize a small moon only to dissipate harmlessly against the Prometheus's adaptive shields. "Shields holding at 100%, Marcus reported, a note of triumph in his voice. "They can't touch us." Jack allowed himself a small smile. "Good. Now it's our turn. Targeting systems online. Fire at will." The Prometheus unleashed a barrage of weaponry that defied description. Quantum torpedoes that phased in and out of reality. Graviton beams that warped space-time itself. Swarms of nanite missiles that could reconfigure themselves mid-flight to exploit any weakness. The effect on the S-Argon fleet was devastating. Ship after ship succumbed to the onslaught, their once impenetrable defenses crumbling before the might of human ingenuity. As the battle raged on, Jack and Marcus worked in perfect synchronization, their years of friendship and collaboration evident in every maneuver, every tactical decision. The Prometheus danced through the battlefield, untouchable and unstoppable. Finally, after what seemed like hours but was in reality only minutes, the last S-Argon ship fell silent. The threat that had brought the mighty Confederation to its knees had been vanquished by a single human vessel. Silence fell over the bridge of the Prometheus. Then, slowly, Ambassador Zix began to make a strange, rhythmic clicking sound. It took Jack a moment to realize the alien was laughing. "Incredible," Zix said, his translator struggling to convey the mix of awe and joy in his voice. "Simply incredible. In all my cycles, I have never witnessed such a display of technological prowess." Admiral Stanton smiled proudly. "That's humanity for you, Ambassador. We may be newcomers to the galactic stage, but we're quick learners." Jack and Marcus shared a triumphant fist bump. So Jack said with a grin, "I guess this means Earth is open for business as the galaxy's premier shipbuilder." Six's appendages waved enthusiastically. "Oh, most certainly. The Confederation will be your first and most eager customer. But tell me, how did you achieve such remarkable advancements in so short a time?" Marcus chuckled. "Well, you see, Ambassador, there's this thing on Earth called science fiction. As the Prometheus began its journey back to Earth, carrying with it the seeds of a new era for humanity and the galaxy at large, Jack couldn't help but feel a sense of pride. They had done it. Humanity had proven itself on the grandest stage imaginable. And this, he knew, was only the beginning. The stars themselves were now the limit, and humanity was ready to reach out and grasp them.